This is DD India. You're watching Express News, a program where we bring you top 100 news of the day. I am Tanvi Taneja. Let's begin. Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke with Nepal's interim Prime Minister Sushila Karki, offering condolences of a recent tragedy and reaffirming India's support for peace and stability. He also extended warm wishes to Nepal and its people ahead of their National Day. India's Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal co-chaired the 13th meeting of the UAE-India High-Level Joint Task Force on Investments alongside Managing Director of Abu Dhabi Investment Authority, Sheikh Hamid bin Zayed Al Nahyan in Abu Dhabi on Thursday. Talking to media, Commerce Minister said that this time last year, India achieved $100 billion in bilateral trade in just 3 years. Defence and aerospace, two new areas of investment were discussed during the meet. India's Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman attended the Indian Foundation for Quality Management event on Thursday. Speaking at the event, the Finance Minister emphasized the need to equip the youth with the right skills to benefit from India's demographic dividend, highlighting the government's efforts and to establish AI training hubs. Union Minister for Road Transport and Highways Nitin Gadkari addressed the Indian Chamber of Commerce Global Business Summit 2025, highlighting the progress in hydrogen innovation. Gadkari said India is now in a position to start its railways on hydrogen fuel. Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnav attended Public Affairs Forum of India in New Delhi on Thursday along with other union ministers. The event focused on policy discussions and economic reforms affecting households, farming and the middle class. Minister Ashwini Vaishnav hailed the GST 2.0 reforms that will make household, farming and middle class essentials cheaper, boosting demand in the market. Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change Bhupender Yadav also delivered a keynote address at the Public Affairs Forum of India 12th Annual Forum on Thursday. India's Defence Minister inaugurated the two-day National Conference Manthan 2025 in New Delhi on Thursday. The event focused on the central theme of Strategic Roadmap to Atmanirbhar Bharat at 2047. The fourth meeting of the Working Subgroup on Planning of Military Cooperation under India-Russia Intergovernmental Commission on Military and Military Technical Cooperation concluded on Wednesday. The meeting focused on strengthening ongoing defence engagements. British Member of Parliament Bob Blackman brought together community leaders, spiritual figures and parliamentarians at the UK House of Commons to celebrate Prime Minister Narendra Modi's 75th birthday on Wednesday. India has taken note of the signing of a strategic mutual defence pact between Saudi Arabia and Pakistan, saying that the government was aware of this development and will now study the implications of this development for national security. India's permanent representative to the United Nations, Ambassador Harish Parvathineni, reaffirmed India's commitment to promoting peace, stability and development in Afghanistan. India and the US marked the start of a new era in their space partnership at an event titled India-USA Space Collaboration, the Frontiers of a Futuristic Partnership, hosted by the Embassy of India in Washington, D.C. Home Minister Amit Shah on Thursday interacting with the BJP workers in Dehri, Bihar. The minister is on a day-long visit to the state. India's MSME Minister Jitan Ram Manjhi led the mega conclave on PM Vishwakarma scheme and National SC/ST hub in Bihar. The event was held to commemorate the second anniversary of PM Vishwakarma scheme. Security forces killed 4 Nakshals in separate encounters on the Chhattisgarh-Maharashtra border on Thursday. The encounters took place between personnel of C-60 commanders and CRPF when they were on an anti-Nakshal operation. The Chinar Corps of the Indian Army has paid tribute to fallen soldiers in Uri, Jammu and Kashmir, acknowledging their bravery and sacrifice against a terrorist attack. India's chief economic advisor V. Anantha Nageshwaran expressed hope that the additional 25% US tariffs will be lifted after November 30th. He expressed hope for positive results from ongoing trade deal negotiations with the United States. Indian equity indices ended higher with Nifty above 25,400 mark at close. Nifty at the National Stock Exchange added 93 points to close at 25,424. Sensex at the BSE was up 320 points at 83,014. At the Forex market, Indian rupee ended 33 paise lower at 88 rupees 33 paise against the dollar on Thursday. Gold futures maturing on October 3rd were priced at 1,09,768 rupees per 10 grams on the multi-commodity exchange. Silver futures for December 5th maturity stood at 1,27,402 rupees per kilo on the MCX. With an aim to expand BSNL's mobile connectivity reach across India, Department of Posts and Bharat Sanchar Nigam Limited signed strategic MOU for SIM sales and mobile recharge services. Brent crude oil fell $67.60 per barrel on Thursday, down 0.5% from the previous day. The Federal Reserve, goaded by the risk of rising unemployment, reduced interest rates on Wednesday for the first time since December. The US Central Bank lowered its benchmark interest rate by 0.25 of a percentage point to 4 to 4.25% range. New Zealand's economy shrank more than expected in the second quarter as data showed gross domestic product fell 0.9% in the second quarter from the prior quarter. NVIDIA and Intel announced a blockbuster deal on Thursday to co-develop PC and data center chips. Simultaneously, NVIDIA said it would take a $5 billion stake in Intel. The pact poses a potential risk to Taiwan's TSMC, which currently manufactures NVIDIA's flagship processors. US President Donald Trump and British Prime Minister Keir Starmer held a bilateral meeting on Thursday, the second day of Trump's state visit to Britain. After the talks, both leaders held a joint press briefing. UK Prime Minister Starmer highlighted the strong economic ties between the two countries and emphasized that the newly signed agreement would see billions flowing both ways across the Atlantic. The British government announced a record-breaking $204.87 billion package of US investment into the UK during Trump's state visit. US First Lady Melania Trump and Queen Consort Camilla visited the Royal Library at Windsor Castle during US President Donald Trump's official visit to the United Kingdom. Following Wednesday's events of pomp and ceremony, Trump bid farewell to Britain's King Charles at Windsor Castle. Trump called him a great gentleman and a great king. Donald Trump celebrated Walt Disney-owned ABC's decision to pull Jimmy Kimmel Live off the air on Wednesday after remarks by the show's late-night host about Charlie Kirk's assassination sparked harsh criticism by the head of the Federal Communications Commission. 3 police officers were shot dead and 2 others were critically wounded in Pennsylvania on Wednesday in a confrontation with a gunman who was fatally shot by police. As per reports, the officers were attempting to serve a search warrant when the gunfire occurred. Tyler Robinson, the 22-year-old suspect in the murder of conservative activist Charlie Kirk, was described as cooperative, somber and quiet at the time of his arrest. Utah prosecutors are seeking the death penalty for Robinson. He is charged with aggravated murder for killing Charlie Kirk. In a press conference in Kiev, Ukrainian Defense Minister Denis Shmyhal and Polish Defense Minister Władysław Kosiniak-Kamysz have agreed to create a joint operational group on unmanned aircraft systems. General Valery Gerasimov, Russia's chief of staff of the armed forces, said that in their slow advance through eastern Ukraine, Russian forces have maintained heavy attacks on the area around Pokrovsk in the Donetsk region for months. A senior Russian officer toured positions held by his troops in Ukraine and said that Moscow's forces were advancing on all fronts. The Kremlin on Thursday confirmed that Dmitry Kozak, the deputy head of Russia's presidential administration, has resigned from his post. Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova said on Thursday that Moldovan authorities are stoking anti-Russian hysteria in a bid to win the election. World leaders will gather in New York starting 23rd of September for the UN General Assembly meeting. UNGA President Annalena Baerbock underscored the importance of the UN Charter and the need for reform and greater inclusivity. French protesters are staging a day of nationwide disruption on Thursday in a show of anger over President Emmanuel Macron's budget policies, with mass protests expected, transport chaos, and clashes between police and demonstrators. A Tanzanian flagged cargo vessel ran aground off the Kefken coast in Turkey on Thursday. All 7 crew members were airlifted to safety, and rescue teams, including fast rescue lifeboats and ground units, were dispatched to the area. Thailand police fired tear gas and rubber bullets at Cambodian civilians in a disputed border area, injuring at least 23. The most significant escalation since they declared a ceasefire to end a deadly 5-day conflict in July. In Bangladesh, the former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and 10 members of her family will be unable to vote in the upcoming 13th national parliamentary election as their national identity cards have been locked. Bangladesh is grappling with a severe outbreak of dengue fever, with hospitals across the country struggling to cope with the rising number of patients. The Directorate General of Health Services has confirmed that at least 156 people have died and over 39,000 have been admitted in hospitals this year. We're heading for a short break here on Express News. We'll be back in just a bit. Stay tuned to DD India.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching Express News on DD India. I'm Tanvi Taneja. Let's resume. The India Meteorological Department has forecast continued heavy to very heavy rainfall over Andhra Pradesh, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Maharashtra, Bihar and Kerala for the next 2 to 3 days. Torrential rains over the past 3 days have triggered floods in Assam's Golaghat. India's National Disaster Response Force teams continue rescue operations in the affected areas. In Assam's Golaghat, the rescue teams have evacuated 250 people along with 69 livestock and shifted them to safer places. Himachal Pradesh Chief Minister Sukhwinder Singh Sukhu held a high-level meeting to assess the damage from recent torrential rains across the state. In Himachal Pradesh, police along with the State Disaster Response Force continued Operation Hausal to rescue people stuck in various areas after flash floods struck the Dharampur area. Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami conducted an on-site inspection of relief and rescue operations in the disaster-affected areas of the state. Torrential rain in the northern Indian state of Uttarakhand's Chamoli has triggered another cloudburst incident resulting in heavy debris flow. 6 buildings were also reduced to rubble in Uttarakhand's Nanda Nagar Ghat. The local administration said 14 people are missing, while 2 have been rescued. Relief efforts are underway. On Dehradun-Mussoorie highway, cracks in several places on the Mussoorie road were caused by rain, resulting in disruption of traffic. Heavy rainfall lashed parts of Hyderabad on Thursday, resulting in waterlogging across several localities, causing inconvenience to residents and traffic. The Australian government on Thursday committed 2035 climate target. The government has set a national target to reduce emissions by 62 to 70% below 2005 levels by 2035. In Australia's Melbourne, the Museums of Victoria Research Institute showed images of a collection of butterflies. This includes one of the insects stolen by British ski champion and acclaimed painter Colin Viet. In western Japan's Ehime prefecture, foreign residents joined a local event where they ride oversized wooden hangiri buckets on water. The activity aims to introduce foreigners to local traditions. 15 participants from 10 countries tried maneuvering the giant tubs, with many tumbling into water, sparking laughter and fun. Iraq's Duhok is set to host the 18th Grape and Honey Festival, celebrating the harvest and supporting local farmers. The 2-day event will showcase grapes, natural honey and other crops from around 50 farmers and beekeepers. In Peru, archaeologists have found a 12-million-year-old porpoise fossil, a marine dolphin species, in the south of the country. The petrified skeleton was found in almost perfect condition during an excavation in the Okukahe Desert. In Calanquez National Park, extensive work has begun to clean up the southern coastline of France's Marseille. The area has been contaminated for 2 centuries by various industrial activities. A newly resurfaced painting by legendary Spanish artist Pablo Picasso, unseen by the public for over 80 years, is scheduled for auction in Paris. The painting is projected to sell for a minimum of 8 million euros. In the United Kingdom, a new AI-powered app is helping keep young smartphone users safe online. The app works by alerting both their parents and the child when they are exposed to harmful content. The app is called Seville, flags harmful content on platforms like TikTok, Instagram and YouTube rather than banning or restricting access to it. Taiwan on Thursday opened the Taipei Aerospace and Defense Technology Exhibition with around double the number of exhibitors. This year's expo features 490 exhibitors at 1,500 booths. Taiwanese entrepreneur Nelson Yang's farm-to-material headquartered in central Changhua belt is turning banana fiber into textiles. The company processes banana pseudostems into fibers that can be used for socks, blended fabrics and even vegan leather. The Indonesian embassy in Bangkok marked 75 years of Indonesia-Thailand ties with Indonesia Culture Night 2025. The event featured traditional music and dances. The Lanka Art exhibition is being celebrated in Indonesia's Banjarmasin. The showcase features works by 95 artists from regions across Indonesia. On to entertainment news now. The trailer of upcoming comedy reboot of the film Anaconda has been officially released. The trailer offers a hilarious glimpse into Jack Black and Paul Rudd's wild jungle adventure. Anaconda is directed by Tom Gormican, known for his work on The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. The movie is scheduled to release on December 25th. The hit series The Summer I Turned Pretty will conclude with a feature film and will be written by Jenny Han. American actor and TV host Mario Lopez is set to host the 2025 Daytime Emmy Awards taking place on October 17th in Pasadena, California. American rapper and singer Post Malone is set to perform his first ever solo headline show in India on December 8, 2025 in Guwahati. Tickets will be available starting September 20th. Stars and filmmakers from around the world walked the red carpet to open the 30th anniversary of Asia's largest film festival, the Busan International Film Festival. Top Indian celebrities attended the premiere of Bads of Bollywood in Mumbai. The film is directed by Bollywood actor Shah Rukh Khan's son, Aryan Khan. The Japanese anime film Demon Slayer Infinity Castle has maintained steady momentum in Indian theatres. The film collected 51.20 crore rupees net in 6 days. The makers of Kalki 2898 AD, where Jayanti Films took to their official X handle to announce the exit of Deepika Padukone from the sequel of the film. The South Indian action film Marco is getting a sequel titled Lord Marco, directed by Hanifa Deni. The lead actor Unni Mukundan, who played Marco in the first film, will not be reprising his role. And now let's get you some sporting action. Double Olympic medalist PV Sindhu sailed into the quarterfinals of the China Masters with straight games win in Shenzhen on Thursday. In doubles, India's pair of Satvik Sairaj Rankireddy and Chirag Shetty also advanced into the quarterfinals after they took down Chinese Taipei's Wang Chi Lin and Xiu Xiang Chie. India's ace athlete Neeraj Chopra failed to defend his javelin throw title at the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo on Thursday. Neeraj's counterpart Sachin Yadav finished fourth after posting his personal best of 86.27-meter throw, narrowly missing the medal. Meanwhile, Keshawn Walcott clinched the gold medal, Anderson Peters bagged silver medal, while Curtis Thompson signed off with bronze medal. Afghanistan must win against Sri Lanka in Abu Dhabi on Thursday in order to make to the Asia Cup Super 4. Pakistan set up another clash with India on Sunday at the Asia Cup after defeating the United Arab Emirates by 41 runs in Dubai. In women's cricket, India thumped Australia by 102 runs in the second ODI in New Chandigarh to draw the three-match series 1-1. Phil Salt led the way with 89 runs as England beat Ireland by 4 wickets in the first T20 match in Dublin to go 1-0 up in the three-match series. Laver Cup tennis tournament between Team World and Team Europe is set to kick off in San Francisco on Friday. In football, Liverpool captain Virgil van Dijk headed on a last-gasp goal in stoppage time to lead his team to a thrilling 3-2 victory over Atletico Madrid in the Champions League opening game. Meanwhile, Harry Kane's brace guided German champions Bayern Munich to a 3-1 victory over Chelsea in their league opener. Paris Saint-Germain kicked off their campaign with an impressive 4-0 win over Atlanta. Jose Mourinho has confirmed that Benfica contacted him for the job of coaching and he would be open to returning to the Lisbon club. And Lionel Messi is likely to extend his contract with Inter Miami beyond next year's World Cup. So that's all in this edition of Express News. I'm Tanvi Taneja. Thank you for tuning in. Namaskar.